convincingly. Sunny Morning second. Tomorrow is a long time third. And then Speed Cuber. Ducks on the pond. And they're off. Unsolved Mystery rockets out of the gate, opens up two in the blink of an eye. Chaos Kid comes through along the inside. Muichi Stosa now ranges up to take second. On the outside, Ducks on the pond, and the early trailer is Lovely Lola. Unsolved Mystery with the pedal to the metal past the half-mile pole leads it by two. Muichi Stosa second. Chaos Kid hugs the rail in third, racing in hand and in just a tad tight. Then Lovely Lola inching up outside Ducks on the pond. 3 lengths covers the field, 3 furlongs out. Unsolved Mystery, Muichi Stosa within 3/4 second. It's 2 more. Lovely Lola takes third. Chaos Kid at the rail. Ducks on the pond drops out of it. They turn for home. Unsolved Mystery still going well on the front end. Has it by a length. Muichi Stosa now 2 behind with a furlong left to go. And Unsolved Mystery is opening up with every stride. This race was over right out of the gate. Unsolved Mystery and Mario Gutierrez running up the margin. It'll be about 7 when the smoke clears. Muichi Stosa clearly second best. Lovely Lola and Chaos Kid. Four, Unsolved Mystery was first. And Queen of Thorns to complete the line. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Las Virgenes to a picture-perfect beginning. Adair Manor asked for early speed. Graceland Gray is going right with her. Miss Everything, Queen of Thorns will be at the back in the early stages. Graceland Gray narrowly in front. Adair Manor takes a tracking spot about a length behind in second. Then comes Queen of Thorns and Miss Everything, 3 lengths front to back, 6 furlongs out. And it is Graceland Gray narrowly in front. Adair Manor just a head back second, 2 more back to Queen of Thorns, who is covering Miss Everything. Down the back stretch they go. Graceland Gray on the outside, Adair Manor, they race together as one. Queen of Thorns, 3 wide, a length and a half off the pace, inching a little bit closer, and Miss Everything is down at the rail. They have less than a half mile to go, and Adair Manor now starts to strut her stuff, and there she goes. Adair Manor quickly puts away Graceland Gray. Queen of Thorns taking second past the 3/8 pole, and then Miss Everything. They're approaching the quarter pole. Adair Manor doing it beautifully up top. Opens up 4 lengths now. Queen of Thorns second, Graceland Gray, and Miss Everything. They're at the top of the stretch, and Adair Manor is a special filly. She is opening up with complete command. Adair Manor makes a statement. She's going to win by double digits under Johnny V, and she is something special. Adair Manor, Uncle Mo's daughter, trounces them in the Las Virgenes. Queen of Thorns holds second over Miss Everything. They're in the gate. Little movement on the outside. And they're off. Big Well, Dutch Bus, both out alertly. Whiskey Vision, Party of 16 in the orange colors up close. And down at the rail, it's Today Matters in the red. And Today Matters is only about 2 lengths off the lead. In the meantime, the Boss Hardy has come through between horses to battle for the lead with Party of 16. Those two go on down the back stretch with Big Well in third, Today Matters at the fence in fourth. Dutch Bus, Whiskey Vision, Blue Silks about 3 off the lead. Then comes a wide Samba Flavor, and Prince Ziggy is 4 behind the group up top. It's Party of 16, heading to the 3/8 pole with a narrow advantage. The Boss Hardy in between horses, Big Well in hand, 3 wide third. Then comes Today Matters in fourth. Dutch Bus, widest of all, 3 lengths off the lead as they come toward the quarter pole. Whiskey Vision is in between horses, followed by Samba Flavor, and still 5 to Prince Ziggy. They pass the quarter pole and turn for home. Party of 16 tries to shake loose, opens up 2. Big Well chasing very gamely. However, this thing's not over. Party of 16, a half length. Big Well grinding away second. 5 back to Dutch Bus in third. 16th pole, and Party of 16 finishes up the job under Tyler Bays to score by 2.5. Big Well second. Today Matters third. Dutch Bus fourth. Whiskey Vision completes the super high 5. Up next, the 5th, start of the late pick 5, 24 minutes to post. They're in the gate. And they're off. Vanisky stumbled at the start. Airbus, Agador Spartacus, and Jack Sixpack all vying for the early lead. Behind them, 4 Flag, a joint fourth. Dark Marcus is next, followed by Vanisky and Awkward Morning at the back of the field. Into the first turn, and Jack Sixpack will show the way. Has it by a half length to Erebus in second. A length more back to the outside, Agador Spartacus in third. Then comes 4 Flag, well spotted fourth along the inside. Vanisky is next, racing a length and a half in front of Awkward Morning and Dark Marcus. Down the back stretch they go. Erebus, Jack Sixpack at the rail. They race together as one. 3/4 Agador Spartacus in third. 4 Flag is at the rail on hold in fourth, only about 3 lengths off the lead past the half-mile pole. Vanisky is next, followed by Dark Marcus and Awkward Morning. Around the turn they go. Jack Sixpack, Erebus 3/4 back second, 4 Flag, Agador Spartacus third and fourth. Then Vanisky pushed along, dropping out of it, followed by Dark Marcus and Awkward Morning. They're a quarter from home, and Jack Sixpack still in front and in charge, turning for home. Erebus has been chasing the whole way. Agador Spartacus, Dark Marcus on the outside, making some headway, and 4 Flag at the rail. Inside the final furlong, Jack Sixpack, 2-length lead. Erebus still second. It's going to be Jack Sixpack to take them coast to coast. Erebus second. Agador Spartacus, 4 Flag, and Dark Marcus. They're in the gate. And they're off. Heaven's Music flies out of the gate, quickly opens up a length. Sizzlack has some early speed too. Quick Buck with the blue blinkers is in the firing line, and Magnificent Ride comes through swiftly to take the lead. It's Magnificent Ride just in front. Sizzlack between horses. Quick Buck on the outside now takes second. A gap of 4. Back to Dick Best, racing a length in front of Heaven's Music. Then 3 more back to Overregulated. And the distant trailer is the Sandy Surprise. 3/8 of a mile to go, and it's Magnificent Ride in front, pressed by the favorite Quick Buck in second. 4 more lengths, Sizzlack is in third. Then Dick Best fourth. At the rail, Heaven's Music trying to re-rally into it, claiming the third spot with 1/4 of a mile to go. It's Magnificent Ride, Quick Buck, Heaven's Music angles out to come after them in third, followed by Dick Best, and then Sizzlack, final eighth of a mile. The lead belongs to Quick Buck, a length and a half. Heaven's Music chasing with determination. It's Quick Buck, Heaven's Music on the outside. Quick Buck just in front from Heaven's Music, and Quick Buck gets the job done. Heaven's Music comes up about a neck short. Then it was Dick Best, Magnificent Ride, and Sizzlack. For Sirius XM, Day at the Races. In the 7th, scratch 2, Blackjack Betty. No high five wager. Wish they all could be to the outside. And they're off. Slow and awkward beginning for Donut Girl. A fast one for Righteously and Wish They All Could Be. Those two duel in the early stages. Taming the Tigress, it's 2 behind them in third. Then it's Little Miss Ellie racing on the inside of Northern Gem and a gap of 5 to Donut Girl. They've strung out as they run down the backstretch. It's Righteously at the rail and Wish They All Could Be up alongside. 2 more, Taming the Tigress under a snug hold, tracking nicely in third. Then 3 to Little Miss Ellie in fourth. They're followed by Northern Gem, and now 8 back to Donut Girl. Around the turn they go, Righteously, Wish They All Could Be. 2 more, Taming the Tigress, cruising up to them while 3 wide. Then 4 more back to Little Miss Ellie and Northern Gem, and in a blink of an eye, Taming the Tigress has taken the lead past the quarter pole. Righteously hugs the rail and fights on. Wish They All Could Be drops back. Little Miss Ellie, 1 from the outside. Northern Gem, extreme outside, inside the 8th pole, and it's Taming the Tigress. Flavian Pratt just pointing her in the direction of the winner's circle, and it will be Taming the Tigress jogging home. Good battle for second. Photo between Little Miss Ellie and Northern Gem. Righteously was next. By Highlander Racing Stable, LLC. The running time, 1:15.96 seconds. Up next, the 8th, the Robert B. Lewis, Grade 3 event, 27 minutes to post. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Robert B. Lewis. Sir London bobbled slightly, but goes out to battle for the lead. Cabo Spirit has speed, and Messier just inside of them. Then it's Wharton, and Happy Jack is at the back of the field. Into the first turn they go, and Messier flashes that zip and takes the lead. Sir London is about a neck back second, and a 3 wide. Cabo Spirit keeps those 2 company in third. Wharton is fourth, 3 lengths off the pace. Happy Jack settles at the back of the field. They move on to the backstretch, and it's the favorite Messier leading it by a neck. Sir London between horses, and Cabo Spirit continues a 3 wide journey. Now it's about 4 lengths back to Wharton past the 5/8 pole, and Happy Jack is inside of him. The Robert B. Lewis Stakes field passes the half-mile pole, still 3 of them across the track. It's Messier at the rail, now starting to try and shake loose. He's put 3/4 of a length on Cabo Spirit. Sir London has lost some ground, now 2 lengths behind Messier. Still a big gap, at least 5 lengths more back to Wharton, and Happy Jack inside of him. They have a 1/4 of a mile to run, and Messier is in command. Cabo Spirit a length and a half behind, and the others are well back as Messier turns it on at the top of the stretch, and he is making his mark on the 3-year-old crop. It's Messier putting on a dazzling display, opening up by 10, by 12. Messier all alone in the Robert B. Lewis Stakes. Cabo Spirit was clearly second. Wharton checked in third. Running time 1:42.89 seconds. And they're off. Teton Valley in the center is the quickest, but he's got some company early on. Encore Fu coming through along the inside to challenge, and those two are stride for stride. C to Success is in the leading group as well, along with Principe Carlo. They're followed by Smile for Me, who's about 5 or 6 lengths off the speed. He was just passed on the inside by Joe Don Looney and Rookie Mistake as well. Second last, Admirably, Truth Seeker far back in the early going. Into the far turn, it's Principe Carlo between horses just in front. Teton Valley at the rail, C to Success keeping pace in third. Encore Fu is an eager fourth. Inside, Rookie Mistake. It's another 3 back to Joe Don Looney, who has about 5 lengths to make up. Smile for Me is next, then Admirably and Truth Seeker. They turn for home. Principe Carlo doing battle with Teton Valley. They've been going at it the entire journey. Now tipping out. Coming after them is Encore Fu, and he's had a beautiful trip coming after the top pair. Coming to the 16th pole, a very game Teton Valley hanging tough. Between them, Principe Carlo. They're followed by Encore Fu, not doing enough. Here is the line. Photo finish. That is so close between Teton Valley and Principe Carlo. Very tight between those two. Encore Fu was third, then Truth Seeker. And the battle for fifth did involve Admirably. It's close for the minor placings.
Did you watch the Eclipse Awards last night? Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. But of course, we honored many people within the industry. Horse of the Year was Nick's Go. There was also a Southern California flavor. Jessica Pfeiffer wound up winning the Apprentice Jockey of the Year. Congratulations to her. Cece, who was the winner of the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, took home an Eclipse Award for owner Bo Hirsch and trainer Michael McCarthy. And of course, Corniche won for trainer Bob Baffert. But you know what? I watched the event on TVG, and there was only one presentation I wanted to see. It was for Horse Player of the Year, the Horse Player of the Year. And let's face it, all of us watching this show are horse players. We support the industry just as much as the owners, right? I wanted to see who the Horse Player of the Year was, and it's the very young man sitting next to me. Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Quigley, VIP Player Concierge, also your seminar host for the next 40 minutes. Delighted that you decided to join us on an incredibly beautiful Friday afternoon here at the Great Race Place. Temperature right now, close to 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. If you're here for the Super Bowl, welcome. If you're from Cincinnati or where my guest is from, Chicago, it's about 50 degrees cooler, 30 degrees of the high temperature forecasted back in the Midwest. But without further ado, let's bring our seminar guest for today. His name, Justin Mustari. Justin, welcome to the seminar.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's great to have you here. Now, let's first talk about business. You got an Eclipse Award yesterday. You're 26 years old. I'm a little bit older than you. I still don't have an Eclipse Award. What an honor that must have been.
Yeah, say that's not something that I could have even dreamt of as learning this game, and say that was a lot of fun last night.
Let's talk about you learning the game. Of course, you learned under the tutelage of your father, Frank. Let's talk about a little bit about the impact he's had on your life.
Yeah, say he's taught me everything about the game that I know. Some other people that were around, other horse players have definitely.
Let's name a few of those people. I might know them.
I say Garrett Skiba is one of the successful horse players. Mike Mulvihill,
of course,
and Venice as well.
All Sharpies.
He's also an NHC winner. But those are the people that have been around that I've seen the success and led to my success as well.
But you couldn't do it without the support of the females, people in your family as well. Of course, your mother obviously was instrumental in raising a very impressive young man, and your girlfriend, of course, always has a tight hold on that money.
Yeah, they're both here with me this weekend too. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. But speaking of fun, let's go back in yesteryear and talk about your tournament at the NHC. It was in late August, and specifically August 29th, 2021 is a day that you'll never forget. It was the 8th race at Del Mar, and there was a runner by the name of Roses Crystal, who you needed to win in order to win the NHC, which of course earned you the Eclipse Award, also a cool check of $725,000. You had to be sweating bullets. Let's kind of relive that moment and listen to Trevor Denman spin them around.
Goes in. All set. And away they go. All appeared to come out well. Towards the outside, She's a Dime is quickest and gets the lead. Balladie's in the vanguard. Lena's Big Day right there, and Big Claire down at the rail. They followed by Sunshine Babe. Warrior's Moon is in the white cap. Rose's Crystal the Grey, 6 lengths off the leaders. Then comes Big Mama Sue. Warren's Candy Girl races towards the rear. In behind Warren's Candy Girl is Big Stretch, and last is Keep Dancing. A good 14 from first to last. They go onto the backstretch, and She's a Dime sets a decent pace. Big Claire, a very comfortable second. Lena's Big Day is tucked in down at the rail on the far side. Warrior's Moon in the white cap is right there too, and Balladie's in that group. Sunshine Babe is the grey, now 6 off the leader, being followed by Rose's Crystal. At the rail, Big Stretch is now 7 off the leaders. Then comes Warren's Candy Girl. Behind that, Big Mama Sue and Keep Dancing. Into the turn they go, and She's a Dime kicks on for home, but Big Claire striding up alongside now. And in behind that, Balladie comes to take them on. Balladie looms a danger. 3 lengths back comes Warrior's Moon, and then it's Rose's Crystal running on late. Top of the lane now, and She's a Dime hangs on. Big Claire in the white blinkers up alongside. Rose's Crystal, the grey on the outside, comes to tackle too. And Balladie's in there. And now here's Warren's Candy Girl with a late run. But it's Rose's Crystal striking the front and drawing on. Rose's Crystal, Warren's Candy Girl chases gamely. Warren gonna be Rose's Crystal to win it. Rose's Crystal, Warren's Candy Girl second. Then Balladie, Keep Dancing, ran on for 4th.
Rose's Crystal, the 5-horse at odds of 19-1, gets there first, crossing the finish line. And like I said, Justin, earning you an Eclipse Award and a big check of $725,000. Question for you. You had a big smile on your face watching that replay. How many times have you watched that replay?
Yeah, more than I can count, that's for sure.
Well, it had to put a smile on your face, not only when it happened, but of course now today, watching it almost 6 months ago to the day. Let me ask you a question. You talked about at the Eclipse Award in your acceptance speech how important Juan Hernandez, who ironically was the jockey on Rose's Crystal, was to you. Have you had a chance to meet Juan yet and thank him?
I have not had a chance to meet him. I actually sent him out a tweet, and he tweeted back at me, so that was pretty cool.
Well, he's got a mount in the first race, and when we're done here, I'm going to walk you out to the walking ring right behind us, and to make sure that you and Juan shake hands, and maybe you want to take him to dinner tonight, considering how much money he put into your pocket.
Definitely.
What made you?
Great ride by him.
A lot of times in tournaments, Justin, it's not the horse you like, it's the horse you need, and of course, you needed a big price in order to catch the leader at that point, who was a champion of one of the previous years, Jose Arias, going into the last race at Del Mar. What made you decide on Rose's Crystal?
I was actually on another horse, I think the 7-horse, who I believe ran 3rd there. That's the horse I liked the whole day. That was kind of going to be the plan going into the last race. And I kind of fell out of first. I was leading going into the 3rd day, going into the final table, and kind of just slowly crept down to 4th and knew I needed something around the 12, 13-1 range. And he was in that area and kind of crept up to 19-1. But the horse had some figures in some maiden races that were competitive in that field. So I had to give myself a chance. Well,
a great job of handicapping. And let's take a look at the result. We're going to take a look at you proudly holding the big check of $725,000 with a grin on your with a grin on your face from ear to ear. Does it kind of seem surreal? I mean, it's happened all so quickly. You obviously wound up winning the tournament. Now you're at San Diego accepting the Eclipse Award. You kind of have to pinch yourself sometimes and say, maybe am I dreaming?
Yeah, definitely. It felt like that for a while after winning, and we made the joke yesterday about until that check went official in my bank account. That was the real day that it felt real.
Now, there was some talk when you received the check that you might decide to invest in real estate and buy a home. But I think, Michelle, you last night at the Eclipse Awards spilled the beans that you haven't made an investment in real estate yet. Have you been able to enjoy any of that money? I mean, did you go on any exotic trips? Did you kind of just plow it all back through the windows? What'd you do with it?
Yes, I've done a couple horse racing trips. Went to Keeneland after that. Went to the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar. That was a lot of fun. Nothing else really, but still looking for a house, and the market is crazy right now. And as us horse players, we gotta find value there, and if it's over the budget and not good value, I can't be buying anything yet.
A smart man, that's for sure. Justin, quick question for you. Obviously very young, and we're always trying as an industry to appeal to more people your age. What are maybe one or two things we should be doing that we're not?
You know, I'm not really sure. We've had this conversation trying to get some of maybe the sports bettors into horse racing, and that's where the younger players are kind of leading to right now. But I think maybe in the future we can maybe lead some of those areas and get some of the younger crowd.
Well, he's certainly an ambassador for the younger crowd. His name is Justin Mustari. We're going to find out who he likes on today's 9-race card. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's card.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast, the turf is firm, the rail on the turf out 20 feet. We have several changes on today's program. First race started the 50-cent early pick 5, scratch number 1, Dominant Soul. In the second, number 3, Prince Hussar, 2 pounds over. In the third, number 5, Star Entry, 1 pound over. In the fourth, there's no high 5 wagering. Scratch 3, Susanna, and 5, Lady Mo. 3 and 5 out of the fourth. The Rainbow 6 starts with the fourth. 469,000 in the jackpot carryover for a single ticket winner. Race 5 started the late pick 5. No scratches or jockey changes. There are no changes in the 6th race. In the 7th, congratulating Justin Mustari, NHC champion and Eclipse Award winner. Scratch number 1, which was a program scratch. Scratch 3, Suetta's Ghost. 5, She's Bulletproof. And 6, Smilin' Evie. 1, 3, 5, 6 out of the 7th. No high 5 or show wagering. Eighth race today. Start of the Golden Hour pick 4. There are no changes. And in the 9th, in addition to scratching 5 and 10, scratch number 7, Johnny Padres. Golden Hour double starts with the finale. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. Post time for the first is at 12:30 p.m., 59 minutes away. Right now, we go back to Quigley's Corner. His special guest today is Justin Mustari.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Justin Mustari. He's the 2021 National Handicapping Championship champion. He's also an Eclipse Award winner. He earned that recognition last night right here at the Great Race Place. He's a resident of a suburb of Chicago, Illinois, and of course he's out here soaking up the sunshine with his family. It's our treat to have him today. Justin, before we take a look at today's card, question for you. I can see you have some Brish sheets in front of you, also the Ragozin sheets as well. Talk to us about just generally what type of handicapper you are.
Yeah, say I use Bristnet and Ragozin. Those are the tools that I use. Mainly Bristnet, try to find out paces, that kind of stuff, set up, how the race is going to set up, what type of race they are. And then I usually lead to Ragozin to kind of see in comparison how the horses are going to fit in that situation.
Now, do you play live money as well? In other words, do you go out to the racetrack or maybe on the ADW, play the races on a semi-regular basis? Are you more of a tournament player where you're looking for value? Just kind of how do you mix and match those two different disciplines?
Yeah, say I definitely play a decent amount. I don't play a lot of money. I am a small bettor for sure. But when it comes to contests, I realize that you have to bet the money you need to bet to be successful. So that's where I'll lead to possibly betting more money in the bigger contests.
Justin, had you qualified for the NHC before last year?
Yeah, this was previously the one a couple weeks ago was my 5th NHC. So since I've been 21, I've qualified every year so far.
Yeah, it was weird, right? Because the tournament you won was in August. Traditionally, it's in January. So we had another one in January. It begs the question, how'd you do in the most recent one?
Yeah, no good there. Just fell out of the top 10%, so I didn't cash anything there. But it was a fun time going back after trying to defend.
In horse racing terms, you bounced.
Yep.
Let's take a look. We don't want you to bounce today because we want you to give us some winners. So let's take a look at today's card. And we kick things off on the turf course. Of course, we're fast and firm. Mile and 1/8 is the distance. The rails today are at 20 feet. It's for $25,000 claimers. Non-winners of 2 races lifetime. And of course, race 1 begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. One scratch the 1, Dominant Soul. Leaves us with a field of 5. The morning line favorite is number 5, Stones River, from the Craig Lewis barn, ridden by your guy, Juan Hernandez. Give us your thoughts on race 1.
Yeah, say after the scratch of the 1 here, it looks like Juan Hernandez may be on pretty much of a loose lead by himself there. But my pick here is the 2, Algeria. Looks like coming back into a better spot for him. He was claimed off of that maiden claiming 50 there. That looked like kind of the better spot for him. 1 there, kind of bumped him up a little. So I think this is a better spot off of the sprint race last time out too, going to a route. So I think he's going to be sitting there nice, and this is a better spot for him today.
You'd make race 1 2-5, Justin?
Yep.
Okay, great. Let me ask you a question about number 2, Algeria. You talked about dropping down in class, but also there's a couple of kind of ugly running lines that you have to fight your way through in order to get back to that maiden 50. Do you excuse bad running performances if you can find a legitimate excuse for them?
Yeah, say my excuse the last time out was the sprint. He was off a little slow, didn't really rally at all there. But I think he's going to break a little better today going a mile and 1/8, and I think that'll be plenty of track for him to run.
Fair enough. 2 and 5, as you can see on the graphic in race number 1. Let's turn the page and take a look at race number 2. Begins the popular 50-cent early pick 4. This is for 3-year-olds on the main track. 1 mile is the distance. $32,000 is the claiming tag. A field of 5 and number 2. Mashhead Flats, first-time Lasik from the Ryan Hansen barn, is 6-5. Also a somewhat of a pivotal jockey switch over to our leading rider, Flavian Pratt. What say you about race 2?
Yes, I think putting Pratt aboard, he's definitely the logical one. I don't think he has to go to the lead to win here. He can sit second or third, and it just looks like the spot for him, and especially putting Pratt up the board. Looks like this is his day.
Fair enough. Mash Flats, you can see in the racing form, trying to Ryan Hansen, clicks at a 14% win clip with first-time Lasix. Do you use Formulator, by the way, Justin, which is where I get my statistics from, Daily Racing
I do not use Formulator, no.
There's a lot of different tools you can use in order to beat the races. We've already heard that Justin uses both the Brish sheets as well as the Ragozin sheets. I like to use the Daily Racing Form Formulator statistics simply because it's got a 5-year database. I can tell you that over the last 5 years, the Hansen barn is 3 for 15 with first-time Lasix, equating to a 20% win clip. So certainly it looks like Mashhead Flats is a live 6-5 price. Having said that, Justin, is there a price point where you will no longer play a horse to win or maybe look elsewhere from a real money standpoint?
Yeah, say this probably wouldn't be a race that I would be betting to win, or possibly not in exactas, but in some pick fives or possibly some doubles, depending who you like in another sequence. That would be how I'd play this.
Race number 3 is a really good race. 6 furlongs on the turf course for Calbred 3-year-olds. Non-winners of one other than. We've got a field of 8 in the morning line favorite on the bottom. Number 8, Smuggler's Run, is 5-2 from the Richie Baltus barn. Before we get your selection on the race, Justin, I wanted to take a look at the replay for number 8, Smuggler's Run in the Baffle, for 2 reasons. He certainly had a lot of trouble, but also another runner in this field, Franklin One Star, the 6, competed against Smuggler's Run as well. Certainly they're getting some class relief today, dropping from a stakes race into a non-winners of one. Let's take a look and a listen to the full replay of the Baffle back on January 30th.
All in. And they're off in the Baffle. Olympic Legend fires out of there very quickly to take the lead. Smuggler's Run is coming through along the inside. Franklin One Star is in the mix as well. And on the outside, it's Shut Up Michael. Up onto the main course, Olympic Legend narrowly. Franklin One Star. Shut Up Michael is widest of all. Don't Sweat Dave is steadying just a bit. Echo Smith also in a little bit of a tight spot, and Smuggler's Run down at the rail. These 6 covered by less than 3 lengths with a half-mile left to go. They're followed by Maglev, who's well held in the red silks. Might have to go around that group. And another 2 to Il Capitano. Around the far turn in the Baffle. And it's Olympic Legend at the rail. Franklin One Star continues to press in second. Shut Up Michael, a length and a half off them in third. Smuggler's Run. Maglev is starting to make nice headway. Will be caught wide. And it's coming now as the field turns for home. Franklin One Star on the outside of Olympic Legend. Maglev is cut loose. Shut Up Michael in the center of the course. Down at the rail, Smuggler's Run. They're in the final furlong, and it's a one-horse race late. Maglev erupts through the stretch under Umberto Rispoli for a dominant win in the Baffle. Won by 4, and it could have been much more. Don't Swear Dave was second. Then it was a photo between Echo Smith and Olympic Legend.
Nobody was going to beat Maglev that day, Justin. Won easily. You can see, though, Smuggler's Run down on the inside had a lot of trouble, certainly more than Franklin One Star. Now Smuggler's Run draws outside, gets Flavian, and Franklin One Star, interestingly enough, adds Lasix and also take the blinkers off. Who do you like in this race and why?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the one that going second time to the grass, I think he's definitely going to improve, especially off that first race on the dirt. He ran huge there, but last race, the 2, Who's Candy, that race that he ran, they put Lasix on him, basically went wire to wire. I think that's a big figure there. And if depending what kind of odds I get on him, I think this might be one of my better bets today.
It's interesting you mentioned Who's Candy as your top selection, Justin, because certainly you can see not only was Lasix added last time, but in the debut, he debuted against Open Company and then kind of took a subtle drop down in class to Calbred's last time out. And he got played very aggressively on the tote board as well. His morning line was 4-1. You can see he basically went off at 5-2. So he's got every right to improve. Just one statistic courtesy of Brad Free at the Racing Form as it relates to number 8, Smuggler's Run. 5 of the last 13 6-furlong turf sprints at Santa Anita have been won by the outside post horse. Certainly Smuggler's Run fits that condition. As you can see, more than 50%. We'll see if it's a short-term trend or not. But as I mentioned, not only does Smuggler's Run probably have some backers, but I also think number 6, Franklin One Star from the Doug O'Neill barn will have plenty of backers as well. To give you an idea, the last 10 times that Doug O'Neill has added Lasix to his runners, 2 wins, 1 second, and 3 thirds. 6 for 10 in the money with his first-time Lasix runners. Let's take a look at race number 4. Begins the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, that jackpot single ticket carryover, now creeping up close to $500,000. $469,000 is the jackpot single ticket carryover amount. That will be yours today if you're the only winning ticket in the Rainbow Pick 6 sequence. And we kick it off sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for fillies and mares. $16,000 is the claiming tag. 2 scratches, 3 and 5 will not compete. Leaves us with a field of 5. Once again, on the outside, the favorite number 7, Little Grayson, who's danced a lot of dances. She's now an 8-year-old, is 2-1 on John White's morning line. What say you about race 4?
I'm not always sure what to do when we get some of these speed horses from Los Al coming in. That always seems to, I guess, trick me a little bit. But that being said, I think the 6, Bella Ranella, is going to be sitting off the pace if there is any bit of speed there. That last race that she came out of was pretty good. I think maybe that half a furlong might not be enough for her to get there, but she's going to be flying late.
You talked about the low sal runners kind of muddying up the pace scenario, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's an important part of your handicapping, right? It's kind of an overused axiom, but pace does make the race.
Yeah.
Pace does make the race. You try and envision in your mind where the runners are going to be positioned, how hot the pace might be, and that's ultimately where you're going to wind up.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So number 6, Bella Ranella is your top pick, Justin. Who else do you like in the race? Maybe either for exacta or pick 5 purposes.
I think the Jonathan Wong horse, Little Grayson, is probably going to be running back good again. But I'd like to throw in potentially a price into some exotics, maybe some exactas or tries.
Please do tell.
One of those Los Al horses, the 5 horse, Lady Mo, she may not be pressing the pace as much as some of the other horses in here. So if she can sit just inside of the 6 horse, I think maybe she might come in there into the exactas or tribes pools there.
The outside 3 runners is who Justin likes in race number 4, 6, 7, 5. I'll give you one additional statistic on Justin's top pick, number 6, Bella Ranella from the Doug O'Neill barn. I talked about some of the Doug O'Neill stats for race number 3. Here's some more in race number 4. Over the last 5 years, Doug O'Neill hits at a 22% win clip first off the claim. You can see Bella Ranella was claimed by the O'Neill barn last time out. And also the last 9 runners that he's had first off the claim, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and 1/3. 5 for 9 in the money first off the claim for trainer Doug O'Neill. Race number 5 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. Fillies and Mares sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course. It's for starter optional claiming types, a field of 6. Number 2, Majestic Steps is the 8-5 morning line favorite. Last time out, finished dead last. Now is the 8-5 morning line favorite. What are your thoughts in race 5, Justin?
Yes, I mean, that Majestic Steps, the 2 horses, I'm sure the horse to beat. It is off of a layoff, so I'm a little leery on that. But it looks like there's potentially not a lot of speed here. The 5 horse looks like it shows some speed, but that's on dirt. The 1 horse has kind of dueled his last 2 times out there. Maybe 6 is just a little bit too much for him, but if he's on a loose lead by himself, he's going to have a good chance to win here today.
What do you do with which one are you referring to, Justin? Just
the 1.
Right, that's what I was going to say. I was just going to ask you, what do you do with the 1? Because you can see that 3 races back down at Del Mar, she actually won from the rail sprinting. Now she has to travel an extra furlong, but she certainly has shown the ability to compete from breaking down on the rail.
Yep.
And also number 5, Roses Are Blue. We didn't touch upon this particular 4-year-old filly, just so your statistics are up to date for those of you listening. The Steve Knapp barn going first-time turf, 1 for 17 the last 5 years, so certainly not a move that the barn excels with. But I'll tell you what, on the outside, number 6, Unusual Ride. Here's an interesting statistic for the Craig Lewis barn. This daughter of Clubhouse Ride goes from a route to a sprint, as Justin mentioned, 4 for 12, 31% when you just look at turf runners going from route to sprint. Certainly a strong move for the Craig Lewis barn. Race number 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 50-cent late pick 4. And take a look at this condition of the race. It's for maiden claiming 3-year-olds for a $200,000 claiming tag. You could buy about 3 of these runners in here if you wanted to. I'm sure your parents and your girlfriend would be happy with that.
Yeah, I don't think these are the type of races you want to be claiming horses for 200 here.
Well, I might change your mind, actually. Like I said, this begins the 50-cent late pick 4, and obviously not a lot to go on here. But let's take a look at a workout courtesy of our friends at XBTV on number 4, Magic and the Moonlight, 4-1 on the morning line. This is a workout on February 5th when he was working out with Midcourt. If you follow Southern California racing, which I know you do, Justin, Midcourt is a graded stakes winner from the John Sheriff's barn, and Magic and the Moonlight, who's a first-time starter here, is the trailing horse. And of course, you'll see at some point the rider on Midcourt look around and say, okay, let's try and have a little fun here coming down the lane. And you know what? As you watch the continuation of this replay, I think you'll be impressed with Magic and the Moonlight. He digs in every step of the way. He's not intimidated by this high-class type of horse. Think about the disparity in terms of racing experience between the runner on the outside, the first-time starter, Magic and the Moonlight, and the runner down on the inside, who is named Midcourt. You can also see blinkers are on, which I like for Magic and the Moonlight, and he never gives up. Now, granted, they're not asking Midcourt necessarily for everything he has, but for a maiden claiming race, albeit at a high level, I thought this was a very impressive workout leading into this race. That was the workout back on February 5th, the last one showing on the page. I'm going to shut up here and listen to who you like, Justin. Tell us the reasons. Tell us who you like and the reasons why in race 6.
Yeah, I think the 3 off of his last 2 races, I think that fits here. That's going to be probably a tough horse to beat. But I kind of had a little opinion on the 6 here. Is also a first starter. Early on in his works, he had some pretty quick works, and I think he might be a horse that we might get some decent odds on here. So that might be a price play somewhere in here if this first starter can get running.
You make a good point, because number 6, Candy for Carmel, another first-time starter in the field. You can see the Connections only paid $17,000. They literally could put him anywhere. If he showed up in a maiden 40, we wouldn't be surprised. But they enter him at this high claiming tag of maiden $200,000. So certainly signs for optimism. But this could be a bit of a spread race for all the multi-race exotic purposes, simply because there's not a lot of handicapping information to utilize. Let's take a look at race number 7, the race named in your honor. If you're on track and looking at the program, the race 7 is named. Congratulations, Justin Mustari, NHC champion and Eclipse Award winner. It's for 3-year-old fillies, non-winners of one other than, going 1 mile on the turf course. Unfortunately, there's 3 scratches in the race. 3, 5, and 6 all will not compete. That leaves us with a field of 5. And number 7, Big Novel, who has run in a lot of high stakes races, but only has 1 victory so far to her name, is the 9-5 morning line favorite, ridden by Johnny V. It's good to see him out here. It's good to see you out here. Who's your top pick in the race and why?
Yeah, I think this, with the scratches here, it looks like this is probably going to be a match race between the 7 and the 8. I know the 4-1 is first start out. I'm not sure if that's as good as the way the 7 and the 8 have been running previously. But I think the 7 might be on a lead by himself. We're not sure what the 2 is going to do here, but I think it's just going to be a match race between the 7 and 8.
Now, the pace, early pace scenario here look a bit muddled with the scratches, right? In other words, Precious Insight might show some speed, first-time Lasix. Also, the runner, maybe, I'm not sure who's going to go to the lead. Maybe number 6, Smiling Evie, scratched as well. So it could, it's not, there's not a whole lot of early pace in the race, which gives you a bit cause for concern.
I think that race that the 7 and the 8 came out of seemed like a pretty good race, and they ran second and third there to the horse that won pretty big there. So I think those 2 are the logical ones here.
Justin, before we take a look at race number 8, just a question for you. You haven't been at the racetrack a whole long time, but nevertheless, you've seen a lot of races in your short racing career. Who are maybe 1 or 2 of your favorite horses besides Rose's Candy? Are there horses maybe you saw run at Arlington Park or via simulcast that come to mind that kind of have an affinity in your heart?
So Gulfstream is kind of the track that I kind of fell in love with the game at, even though I went to Arlington as a kid. That's kind of just the atmosphere that made me feel like I was involved and enjoyed the game. So I went to a couple Pegasus at Gulfstream, and I think my first Pegasus was when Gunrunner won, and that was a phenomenal performance by him that year.
And not only was it a phenomenal performance, but what a stallion he's turned out to be as well. His first crop certainly has hit the ground running, and of course he stands in Kentucky, as do many other successful stallions. You mentioned you went to Keeneland, kind of using some of your proceeds from your tournament win. Did you happen to visit any of the farms while you were there?
No, I didn't get a chance to, but that'd be something I'd like to do in the future for sure.
It's definitely something you should do. I would highly recommend it. It's an amazing part of our game that not many people see. Have you ever been on the backside of any racetracks, either at Arlington or any? Okay.
I've been on a couple backsides. My dad owns some horses with Larry Ravelli, so I've had the opportunity to go with him and see how their operations work. And that's definitely a different atmosphere. It's a lot of cool to see.
Is your dad hitting you up to be a partner on some of his future horses as well?
Yeah, I think so. He'd like me to be a part, but I definitely got to find some good value there.
You sure do. Let's take a look at race number 8. Begins the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4. If you're not familiar with that wager, links our last 2 races here at San Diego with the last 2 races at Golden Gate, and it always pays well. Higher minimum, lower takeout means better payouts. And we kick things off here at San Diego in race number 8, sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for maiden claiming 3-year-old fillies. This time for a $30,000 tag, a field of 8, and the morning line favorite down on the rail. Number 1, Mo Connolly from the Steve Miotti barn. First-time Lasix, as a few other runners in here are first-time Lasix as well. Give us your thoughts on race 8, Justin.
This one is definitely up in the air. I think you can make an argument for a couple different horses here. A lot of horses dropping down into the maiden claiming level. I'd like to see the 8 horse on the dirt here. He's got some good numbers on the turf, even though it doesn't look like that on paper. I'd like to see him on the dirt. And also the 7 horse, Lucy Jane, Jessica Pfeiffer. Obviously, she won Prentice Jockey. That was very cool for her. And I've liked her recently, especially getting out early on those horses. I think that horse has a little bit of speed, even though it doesn't exactly show on paper there. But she may be getting out and get this horse on a little lead here.
8 and 7, 7 and 8 in race number 8. You mentioned Jessica, and of course, both of you won Eclipse Awards last night. Did you guys kind of congregate in a corner and slap each other on the back and have a few cocktails? Like, did you intermingle with some of the other Eclipse Award winners?
I did not get to meet her. She was awarded the Eclipse Award right before me, so she came off stage very emotional, and I was as well.
Sure. When you talk about being emotional, what was it about the event that made you so emotional? Was it just the reality of winning an Eclipse Award? Was it just, how do you top that? Let me ask you that question. What's next in the Justin portfolio in terms of accomplishments?
Yeah, I mean, that's more than I could have imagined to accomplish at 26 years old, but let's say we'll try to set some stuff up for the future, maybe try to win a Breeders' Cup here.
Not only win a Breeders' Cup, but BCBC, I'm sure, is what you're referring to, but also maybe win a lot of money on the side as well. We close things out in race number 9. 9 race card today, 9 race card tomorrow. Keep in mind, 8 race card on Big Game Sunday. Early first post on Big Game Sunday, too, 11 a.m. Pacific time. That's in order for us to conclude our racing and then allow you to go watch the big game. But we close things out here in race number 9 with the $5 Golden Hour Daily Double. Similar concept, linking our last race with the last race at Golden Gate, sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf course. $25,000 is the claiming tag. 2 program scratches, the 5 and the 10, will not compete. Also, scratch number 7 leaves us with a field of 8. Morning line favorite down on the bottom, number 11, Frontier Market. Haven't seen him in a long time. He's a 9-year-old plummeting down in class. I'm interested to get your thoughts on this nightcap, Justin.
Yeah, so I think there's a little bit of speed between the 3 and the 4 here. So I was kind of looking for something a little bit off the pace. And that last race that the 8 Castle and 9 Ian Glass came out of, I think that was a pretty good race there. And if you watch the replay on the 8 Castle, he kind of broke very alertly and kind of shuffled back a little and still had a little bit of run later on. So I think he's going to be my pick. I think he's going to sit a little closer today than he has in his previous 2 races. But that might be an exacta box between the 8 and the 9. And I'm not really sure what to do with the 11 Frontier Market off of a long layoff and looks like more of a miler or even potentially further. So I'm kind of leaving him out in that situation because I think he's going to get bet today.
I think a lot of players are going to try and beat Frontier Market for some of the reasons you mentioned, not only the long layoff, but the big drop down in class. There's also some other concerns. You can see, although he's 9 years old, he's only been able to step foot on the racetrack in the afternoons 14 times. Also, as you look at his workout lines coming into this race, what you don't see is he was working way back in January of 2021, which is obviously more than a year ago. Then something happened and they had to resume his training at some point thereafter. So certainly he's been on the comeback trail for quite some time. And again, looking at the John Sadler statistics for layoff runners coming back in excess of 180 days. In turf sprints, he's just 6 for 38 over the last 5 years. That equates to 18%. Granted, he's drawn outside, which I told you is the place to be in turf sprints, but at a short price. I think most sharp handicappers like yourself are going to try and beat Frontier Market. Justin, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Again, congratulations on your Eclipse Award win. Also, congratulations on the big check. Enjoy your day out here at the Great Race Place. I hope we see you out here much more often.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys.
Of course. Thank you as well. Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Next voice you hear will be track announcer Frank Miramati, updating us with any late program changes. Enjoy your day, have fun, and make some money.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.